In studio this morning, Central Florida Congressman Daniel Webster. Congressman, good to see you once again. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
First of all, let's start off. Are you pleased with the deal that was struck?
Well, I believe I am pleased because we headed down the right path. It's one step. We stayed within the framework of cut, cap, and balance. We did not raise taxes. We raised the debt ceiling, but only as much as the cuts. All of those things were principles we set out to begin with, and it worked.
I know in negotiations they say both sides need to walk away unhappy. That means it was a pretty good compromise. Do you think that happened here since conservatives aren't happy and liberals aren't happy here?
I believe that, yes. In the end, though, I think all are going to see that this was the right step because it may have been one step towards a goal, but in the end, we also changed the culture of Washington from a tax and spend to actually cutting spending.
There's also a perception out there to where it looks like maybe the buck was passed to some future Congress sessions because now all the spending cuts are set in stone. Is that perception or reality?
I think that's perception. We set in stone some caps. We're cutting this year, but we're also capping over the next 10 years the amount of expenditures. Is that the minimum or the maximum? Well, it's the max. We can't go above that, but there's still a minimum which we can go below, and I think in the end we'll probably do that. I think it's a good deal. At
some point, do you think taxes are going to have to be raised to get more revenue coming in?
No, I believe that right now we are headed towards a path of hopefully renewing our economy long term. The less we spend in Washington, the more jobs we're going to create.
Senator Bill Nelson has recently proposed a balanced budget amendment. Are you in favor of some sort of law like that?
I am, because that was part of this cut, cap, and balance. We want to cut spending now, we want to cap spending in the future, and eventually move towards a balanced budget.
But there's also a slippery line with a balanced budget. If more revenues come in, Congress feels like they have more money to spend. How do you make sure that that doesn't happen and we can actually put aside some money and pay down the debt down the road?
Well, I think the first step in that is balancing the budget. We're long away from that. We're a far distance from that. So we get there, we get that approved, and then I think we end up paying down our debt in the future.
You know, one thing that bothers me is you see all the celebrations, people saying, hey, we came up with a deal here, but in reality, we took on more debt here. Is that something to celebrate, seeing that we had to raise the debt cap?
No, I don't believe it's anything to celebrate. It's just a step. That's all it is. To me, we made a step. I would have liked to have been a bigger step, but it is a step. And again, we've got to change the culture first. We've got to change the process first, and we've gone a long way in doing that. And now we'll have to actually do what we said we're going to do.
I also want to show you a piece of video here. Congresswoman Giffords made a surprise appearance on the floor. I think we have some video of that. Explain this moment. You said this was good for everybody involved.
This was good because not just the people there are standing clapping, the entire house is clapping and cheering and yelling because this is one of the fantastic unifiers of the whole year. It's a bipartisan, hey, way to go, thanks for standing, thanks for coming back so quickly, and it was thrilling.
I'll leave you on this one. The FAA still in a bit of a flux right now. You guys have gone on break. What happens there with the FAA?
Right now, there's just one small difference, and so we tried to do a short-term extension that would have lasted maybe 45 days, and the Senate just wouldn't do it. But that's not unusual. The Senate, it's really been hard to pass anything in the Senate.
So they can function on a partial shutdown right now?
They can, yes.
Okay. Senator, or Congressman, good to see you once again. Appreciate your time.